Hi friends, and welcome to Carolina's Cottage. This is Johnny. Today I'd like to show you a few easy projects that imitate some of the high-end decor that we're seeing in stores and on YouTube. I'll show you how to add a few pieces of trim and a little chalk paint to make these old things into something that looks high-end. To make these cute stockings, I started with regular painter's drop cloth. I get mine at Home Depot or Amazon. I wash and dry mine first, and I save the hemmed edges to use as trim on other projects. I found this pattern online and printed it. I will include the link for it in the description below. I cut 2 pieces for each stocking, and before I sew these together, I'm going to add a design to the front of each one. On the top piece only, I used chalk paint to give these a layered, textured look, and I will add stamps to each one. I applied a pretty heavy coat of chalk paint to these, and I made sure to leave the edges uneven to give it a little bit of a rustic look. I also need to leave room around the edges to do my stitching, or if you prefer to use a hot glue gun, then you want to make sure that you're leaving room to apply that. I think all the stamps I'm using today are Prima Redesign, but I will list that in the description as well. I had given the chalk paint a couple of hours to dry before I started using the stamps on it. And then after I applied the stamps, I gave about another hour for the ink to dry. I'm going to take these to my sewing machine and just do a very simple straight stitch around the edges of the stocking, leaving the top open. Now I'm going to stitch with the wrong sides together, as you see here, because I'm not going to be turning these. I'm going to give these I'm going to let that hem show after I stitch it up, and it's going to give it a little bit of a rustic, kind of a tattered look. And you could also use hot glue instead of stitching on your stockings. Use whatever trim you have on hand to decorate these. I had this lovely lace trim that I had thrifted. I started on the back side so my edges don't show, and I added a bit of greenery and Christmas florals from Hobby Lobby. I'll be attaching the lace so that the raw edges don't show, but you could also let the edges show since we do want it to have that rustic tattered look. It was just a little tricky here to get my little dollops of glue underneath those flowers so I don't have any glue showing. And remember that hemmed edge that we saved when we were cutting out the pieces of drop cloth. I'm going to use that for the hanging straps for this, and I'm just hot gluing the pieces onto the back and making sure that it's secure. These are a nice size to decorate with, or they could be hung on the tree. This next project was inspired by an item at Pottery Barn. Apparently Walmart had made a knockoff of this, and I saw that on YouTube. So a few days later, I found the aluminum version at Goodwill, and with just a couple of coats of chalk paint, I've gotten pretty close to the original Pottery Barn piece. So keep your eyes out for one of these. I've seen them in gold in previous years, but definitely an easy project to do. The next piece is also a common sight at Goodwill. I've seen these ceramic Christmas trees in all sizes. Since I'm using this with more neutral colors, I want to paint it a creamy color. I would recommend using a primer or a spray coat first to help the chalk paint stick. I did have a problem with the second coat pulling off some of the first coat, so I would recommend priming it first. The next project is a primitive style lamp that I'm updating to match my decor. I'll be painting it with 2 coats of chalk paint, and I'll use a wet wipe to distress it. I have always had a love of primitive style, but I don't usually use it. It has a lot of character, but I think I just need lighter colors. It took 2 coats of chalk paint to cover this. After it dried, I applied a matte finish top coat, and I also added a little gold detail around the candle tops where it looks like the wax dripped, and I will link the gold paint that I used in the description below. If you are new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed something from the video today, and I'm hoping it will inspire you to take something you have now or something you thrift and make an upcycled high-end piece of decor with it. Thank you all for watching today, and I will see you in the next video.